Ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we are back. We are back here at NHTV Cable 18 in North Haven. The defenders of independent wrestling, the Squared Circle. Everybody remembers me. I'm Hollywood J. Williams, the biggest icon here in North Haven. Been doing this for forever. But joining me every week here on the Squared Circle will be none other than Matt DaCorte.
What's up, everybody? I'm here. I'm very happy to be on the Squared Circle. I'm very happy to be joined up with my man Hollywood J. Talk some wrestling with all of you. We're going to talk about, some of the stuff you see on TV, WWE, Impact. Now also going back to TNA in 2024.
Now it's going to be called TNA again.
Yes, indeed. And we're also going to talk about, some local independent wrestling, such as right here, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, and Jay. And
what else do you have?
Some Test of Strength wrestling as well.
TOS.
Oh, yes. And not just limited to those two. There's a ton of other stuff. Jay, what other Northeast promotions are we going to talk about during these times, my man?
Since the world came to an end 3 years ago, after the pandemic and when everything started to come back to some sense of normalcy, it seems like we went from having, we had before pandemic, we had PPW, we had Test of Strength.
Sure did.
We had Blitzkrieg up in Enfield. And I think those were pretty much the only three we had in Connecticut, because I was constantly going to Massachusetts at least once or twice a month to cover independent wrestling. Not that I'm not going to be doing that anymore, but post-pandemic, we had a company called Blood, Sweat, and Tears start up.
Worked with them many times. Great promotion, absolutely.
Right. An interestingly designed six-sided ring is featured at a company called Tetsu.
Yes, indeed. I've worked with their sister promotion, Cosplay Championship Wrestling. If you're a fan of Marvel, superheroes, anime, all that good stuff, and you go to Kineticon in Hartford, be sure to check out the sister promotion of Tetsu, Cosplay, because you'll see me cosplaying as ring announcer Matt DaCorte up there.
Right.
Yes. Yes, but in all seriousness, though, Tetsu is a phenomenal promotion as well. Jay, I know you've been to some shows.
I've been to one of their shows already and plan on going to another one very soon.
Yep, I caught their inaugural show. It was a lot of fun top to bottom, and it was a lot of fun, and I think they have one coming up pretty soon,
They
right?
do. They have one coming up November 4th, Those Who Fight.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's going to be a really, really good show. I mean, they got a lot of talent. I just saw some match announcements up on their socials today. Make sure you check out Tetsu Pro Wrestling if you're interested. Like Jay said, they have a six-sided ring, very unique setup, very talented individuals. Definitely a promotion to keep your eye on if you're in the area.
Right. So that's at least a +2 at BST and Tetsu.
Yes, exactly.
In Connecticut.
And then you can't forget about Coliseum Pro Wrestling either.
Coliseum, that's a +3.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, no, I actually, when was it? I think it was Friday the 13th, actually. Friday, October 13th, they had an event, Nightmare on Main Street. I accidentally called it Nightmare on Elm Street because I was in the Halloween spirit. It happens, folks. We all make mistakes.
That's right.
But it is what it is. It was a tremendous night of action. Speaking of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the main event of the evening saw the Blood, Sweat, and Tears champion, the newly minted champion, Bobby Buffet, challenge Hunter Tarka. He tried to become a two-promotion champion by taking the Coliseum, or trying to take the Coliseum championship from Hunter Tarka, but he was unable to do so because of some interference from Fly Nye Noriega. And, Fly Nye, he's been at his beef with Hunter for a while. It seems pretty one-sided, but who knows where that's going to go. I think he's definitely got Hunter's attention now.
I have previous clips from Coliseum and BST and Tetsu. I'm not going to show any tonight, but I have them on the YouTube. If you go to Squared Circle CT, you can find them all there on the Squared Circle YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
As well as a lot of these companies, I believe they also have their own YouTube channels as well.
Absolutely. I can tell you that a lot of these promotions have YouTube channels. They might, put them on Twitch, or they might have deals with IWTV or Fight TV or what have you. There's a lot of places to get the content. So if you'd like to check these promotions out, check out past events. If you want to learn a little bit more about them, check out their social media accounts. They'll have links there and everything. You can find out where to find them, where to watch matches past, and information on what they have coming up. And we will talk about a lot of that and heck of a lot more today, right?
I know that IWTV, whoever came up with that, is a genius.
Yes. Hey, I'll be on IWTV next month.
You will?
I sure will. Yes, indeed. I will be at Focus Pro Wrestling Mo Money, Mo Problems on November 11th. It's a Saturday, and Focus Pro Wrestling, I really enjoy it because it's at a brewery. They have some delicious brews on tap. I like to try a new one every single time I'm up there after the show. Not too many, just one. Don't drink and drive, everybody.
Yeah.
That's bad. Either way, it's just a great promotion, a lot of fun, a lot of great talent up there. If you're in the Boston, Massachusetts area and you want to have a drink and go out with some friends, check out Focus Pro Wrestling. But Jay, I don't think that's the only thing going on that
November
night, right?
11th that night, and hopefully I'll be talking about this in more detail the next time we grace you with our presence here at NHTV next week. United by One by Blood. That's going to be not only BST. That's also they're going to be in collaboration with Test of Strength.
Yep.
And Coliseum, I believe.
Yep. And I believe also another one, We Are Wrestling. I think it is correct. I think there's one more in there. I'm not exactly sure.
Yes.
My apologies.
I think it's called We Are Wrestling.
It begins with a W. I know that.
Right.
And it's not WWE.
No.
But either way, that is something, unfortunately I can't be there myself. I really wish I could clone myself, Jay.
I know.
I really wish I could for things like this. But it's a cause that's, very near and dear to my heart. It's put on to help continue the fight against juvenile diabetes, and that's, it's a horrible thing. And
It is.
But they're pulling out all the stops. There's some names that are going to be on there. I think Fuego del Sol is going to be on there. Sonny Kiss is going to be on there. Names that are that were on AEW at one point. They were in there with the best of the best, and they're going to be fighting some of the Northeast's best at United by One. Jay, that's sure as heck exciting, is it not?
You're going to have to get your tickets real soon for that one.
Oh, believe me, they're going to go fast. So if you want them, make sure you check out United by One, and definitely it's going to be a fun night. And if you'd like to see it, if you'd like to support a great cause, no better way to do it, in my opinion.
No better way to do it. Yeah, we're going to reach out to the powers that be at BST.
And maybe we can get some members of Team CC on here. They're always a lot of fun. And
Team CC.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The driving force behind United by One. But Jay, so I'm going to do the Cody Rhodes now. What else do you want to talk about?
What else do I want to talk about? Well, we have clips.
We got some clips.
We're going to show some clips.
What kind of clips are we going to see, Jay?
We're going to see, we have a BST match, a tag title match. We have, what else do we have coming up? We have Test of Strength coming up.
PAPW coming up. We got some Test of Strength coming your way, folks.
Test of Strength, they had 2 previous cards. We had one on the September 14th. We're going to be showing, and we're also going to be showing from their Training Day 42, October 1st.
Yes, indeed. We got
Training days are the first Sunday of every month, I believe.
You got it, man.
Wow,
you got it. You might be taking my job at this rate,
right?
But yeah, training days are a lot of fun. They're on the road events, they're road shows as they call them. When they are not at the dojo, will be coming back in March of 24. So when the weather's starting to get nicer, that means we can all go out to a nice venue and check out some of the Test of Strength offerings on the road. But either way, the dojo shows are a lot of fun too. Jay, you've been there before. The environment is electric, is it not?
It's electric. It's a small place, but it's a lot of fun.
Heck yes, heck yes. And you know who else is a lot of fun? The tag teams of The Haven and Miracle Generation. And I think that's a heck of a segue for our first little clip, right?
Why don't we do that right now? Let's go to this. This is the tag title match from Blood, Sweat, and Tears, September 13th. This was in Hamden, Connecticut, excuse me, at Devonshire Hall.
Absolutely.
We have the Haven, we have Miracle Generation.
That's right. In the ring right now, you will see Sean Knight, the Smooth Soldier, representing the Haven, and Dustin Flash Waller, the Speed Sensation, representing Miracle Generation there. And this is a very interesting matchup because these guys came through the ranks together. They're best friends, and there's really no animosity here. This is about the spirit of competition. These are two guys that are amazing friends, that train together, that came up through the ranks together. They're as close as they can be, but at the same time, they want to see which tandem of the four is the best. And you talk about these guys are athletic. Mm-hmm. These guys are very well trained. They're very incredible. They're just amazing to watch in the ring. It's hard to describe. And they're showmans too. Take a look at that from one Sean Knight in the corner.
The referee should look familiar. That is Professor Bill Thompson. He has helped us out with the squared circle on many occasions, filling in with our the last incarnation of the squared circle numerous times. He used to be a North Haven resident, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yes, he was. And Bill Thompson, also one of my best friends. I have to say that as well. He called me on my birthday. We had a nice little conversation, shot the breeze for a little bit. Always love it when Bill Thompson's around.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I'm sure Sean Knight doesn't like clotheslines in the corner or anything like that, and he tags out to his tag team partner. That is the Meta J Onyx right there.
Right. Tell us about these two tag teams.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Haven, I remember when they came out for an XWA show up in Rhode Island, mm-hmm. and usually as soon as the wrestlers pop out of the curtain is when I start doing the intros, but I had to wait probably a good 20 to 30 seconds that night after they came out because the crowd would not stop yelling and screaming at the top of their lungs for these guys. That's how popular they were. And you can see part of the reason why that crowd took to them so much by what they're doing in the ring right now. And as for Miracle Generation, these guys, they started out as singles guys, both very successful. And that is Kylon King in the ring representing Miracle Generation right there against Jay Onyx of the Haven.
And who was the other member of Miracle Generation?
That was the one Speed Sensation, Dustin Flash Waller on the outside. And, Dustin and Flash, they started off as singles competitors. Oh my God, there you see the powerful strikes from Kylon right there. And one of the most beautiful German suplexes in the scene today, folks. But, these, again, they started off as singles guys. They started teaming together, and they have taken the tag team division in the Northeast by storm. They are, if I recall correctly, they are the IWTV Tag Team Champions. Wow. And, they're staples at the Wrestling Open, speaking of IWTV, every Thursday. You can see these guys, putting on their best, taking on whatever challenges come their way.
Wrestling Open in Worcester, I believe.
Correct? That is dead on the money, Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And they're one of the most well-known and popular tag teams that there is right now. They are all over the place. They've been out to the West Coast. They've been to the Midwest. They've been here, there, and everywhere, showing exactly why they are the next big thing in tag team wrestling. And the Haven, they're showing right now, as you can see, just beautiful offense. The Haven, they're not blood brothers, but, they're as close as you can get to that.
Close as you can get.
Yes, and they're showing that, hey, you guys might have the notoriety, but that doesn't mean we're not as good as you guys.
In order to work well together, a tag team has to be close like that, I think.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Chemistry is everything when you're a tag team.
Right. You have to be able to trust that other person. Mm-hmm. If you can't, then what good is it?
And there you see right there, they needed to make an adjustment. Sean Knight lands a super kick and then into a beautiful tag team combination.
Right. This is a little further on in the match.
Mm-hmm. And Jay, where can they find the full match footage of this?
Blood, Sweat, and Tears?
Yes.
Right. That would be their YouTube channel, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there you see a nice Uranagi there from Kylon King. Just beautiful execution, just with everything Kai does. Jay Onyx needs to break up the pin right now.
If you go to their YouTube channel, is there just a specific, gotta put on, click the playlists, I believe?
I think so.
Right.
I think so. But either way, check out BST
Right.
on socials. They will direct you exactly where you need to go. And you can also find more BST footage on
The Squared Circle.
That is correct.
CT. Make sure you put CT in there, because if not, you're going to get a Squared Circle from Ohio or something, or some other place.
Or you will be directed to Reddit.
Right. It's just not as, there's another state.
Yes.
Well, I don't unfortunately have copyright the term Squared Circle. I'm going to have to work on that. But, I just can't get over, this could have been anybody's match. It's just the way it was going.
Jay, when you were filming this live, what were you feeling when this match was going on?
I was just amazed. It was kind of reminiscent. AEW does it a lot. You have a lot of close falls, and you just don't know when the match is going to end.
It kept you in suspense.
It keeps you in suspense. It's something I actually like in a match.
Hey, the drama is a big part of it. And there you see the beautiful knee there from Kylon.
And this is the respect they showed to each other at the end.
Yeah, and once again, we're skipping ahead. This is the end of the match. And you can see that the Miracle Generation has the titles in their hands, but little spoiler alert, Jay, I don't think they were the ones that won, right?
No. Could be obviously won if they're giving the belts to the other team. Look at that. You don't see that a lot.
And that's what I was saying before. This was all about the competition. These guys are best friends, and this was about respect, and this was about the spirit of competition. And it was just a tremendous match and a result that you don't see every day, like you said, but it's great when you do. It gives you that great feeling at the end. They fought hard, they battled hard.
It's good to see, because we're living in a different era now.
Indeed.
You want to see something more sports orientated, like that. That we had a good match. Great. I want to hand it to you guys. That's that. We want to see that. We don't want to see two people shaking hands and then all of a sudden you see the clothesline afterwards.
Right. I was going to say, you should have done that in the match if you want to get chippy afterwards.
Exactly.
So, trash talk is fun, but you can't have it all the time. You got to draw a line to it. You got to draw a line to it.
What I like about a wrestling company is when they get right into the wrestling matches.
Exactly.
I don't want to see the guy standing there for 10, 15 minutes holding a microphone telling me how great he is. I want him to show me, or her to show me, how good they are in the ring.
Yes. Yeah. There are some people that are enjoyable talkers,
Right.
But it is good wrestling. Ain't nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
And that was BST, and we'll have more in future episodes of the Squared Circle. We can move right along here to Test His Strength. This was on September 14th, I believe, the next clip. Whenever the gentleman in back is all ready. Here we go. We're going to show you some women's action here. This is for the Test His Strength Women's Championship. This is Evie De La Rosa, I believe,
indeed.
and Karen Bam Bam Renee.
Yes, indeed. Karen Bam Bam Renee, the hottest and the heaviest that there is. And she is the conductor of the Squish a Bish Express.
Wow.
And she is looking to lay into Evie De La Rosa. But let me tell you what, it's not often that I announce women's weights, during the intros, because there are things that I've learned in life, and two of those things are you never ask a woman her age and you never ask her weight.
No.
If you do, you will probably get slapped, or if not worse.
Yeah.
Yes. And so,
especially when you're dealing with a woman's wrestler.
Yes.
Right.
So kids, don't do that. You know, don't be respectful. Be respectful. We were just talking about respect before. That's going to be a theme throughout the night. But anyway, Evie actually likes me to do it because she wants everyone to know that she is 125 pounds of pure muscle. So Jay, I don't think I'm out of line when I say that this is a female hoss fight right here.
Right. It takes a lot to get the big Karen Bam Bam Renee down on the mat. I mean, it takes a lot. That's it's the size factor right there.
Absolutely, but that's it. It's strength on strength, you know, and you know Karen is one of the hardest hitters I have seen in any women's division that there is, and you know, but Evie, like I said, she's got muscle, she's got strength of her own.
I can compare Karen to Awesome Kwong, perhaps.
That is a great comparison, actually. That is a tremendous comparison. I mean, you see those clubbing shots right there. I mean, and then Evie just gives it right back. Oh, look at this. We got some Rock'em Sock'em robots in the middle of the ring right here.
Right. Tell us a little more about this Evie De La Rosa, though.
Oh, absolutely. Evie was a former member of Dan DeMan's Mission.
Okay.
I actually think we're going to see why she's not a member in this match. We might not see it in this clip, but again, if you want more, at TOS Wrestling 1 on YouTube, you can see the match in its entirety and the aftermath.
Right. I might have the aftermath on here.
Yes.
Right.
And, oh, look at that beautiful clothesline from Bam Bam. And that's the thing, Bam. That's why they call her Bam Bam. Bam.
Bam.
Exactly. Exactly. Just laying it in.
That's
with
a lot of weight.
No remorse. No remorse.
Right.
And
there's no way she didn't feel that the next day.
oh, if you're in the ring with Karen Bam Bam, you know you've been in a fight. That's for dang sure. But the same can be said about Evie too. You know, you can't sell her short by any means. She
Absolutely
is as tough as they come. Street certified, ring approved for Evie De La Rosa.
Right. I'm trying to become familiarized with all this new talent that's cropped up over the past few years, because it's been a few years since I've done a squared circle.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, through
Bam!
for many reasons.
Yes.
But it's good to be back.
It's good to have you back, Jay. Good
I'm glad
to
be
have
back.
you back.
I'm glad we're back here at NHTV. This is home to me.
Absolutely, and both these women feel at home in the ring. A power slam there from Bam Bam. But Jay, I'm going to throw a little fun fact at you. You might not know about this. Did you know that Karen Bam Bam was actually the overall Test of Strength champion at one point?
As in the main world champion?
Correct.
Really?
Yes, she was.
Right.
Yes, she was. Her match, there's footage of her match with Dan DeMan that I believe has over 2 million views on YouTube land, if you want to check that out. That was one for the ages. They brawled all over the place, and I believe it was Ryder's Smokehouse, little exterior pavilion. But there you see beautiful technique right there from Evie, taking Bam Bam off of her feet. And this match, Jay, was for the inaugural Test of Strength Women's Championship.
So they haven't had a women's championship until this point.
Nope, they have not. They have not. But but it's been a long time coming, because Test of Strength has had.
It's important to have at least one female single belt.
Yes.
Every promotion.
Absolutely.
Right.
And Test of Strength's women's division has been a highlight, in my opinion. And so, you know, now all the amazingly talented women that come through Test of Strength have something to fight for. But again, it's, you know, Bam Bam, she was a champion.
Right.
And she defended that belt with pride, and
right. We live in an era where the women's divisions, the women's championships are just as prestigious now.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Ever since the days of Trish Stratus and Lita, and that wasn't very long ago.
Huh? No, it was not. And
it seems like that sometimes, but it really wasn't.
oh, believe me, it's. I had a lot more hair on my head back in those days, I can tell you that
Right.
much. That's why I'm wearing the beanie today. It's because it is cold outside and I don't have enough of a natural buffer.
Right?
And there's the thing about Evie, you know, Evie, she bends the rules sometimes. That is another trait.
Bends the rules. Doesn't break the rules, but just bends them a little.
I mean, if you could see the air quotes, you can't see me on camera right now, but, you know, I'm doing the little thing, you know, the little finger quotations of bends.
Right.
As you can see on the footage right there. That's not quite bending, but if you don't see it, it's not there. And there's your new Test of Strength Women's Champion.
There we go. That's an amazing accomplishment right there.
Oh, it sure is. It sure
And
is.
This is Cece right here.
Absolutely.
This is the inspiration for that BST card coming up.
Yes, indeed. And
Right.
also the GMS of Test of Strength Wrestling.
She's all over the place. Test of Strength, BST.
She sure is. She sure is, and and deservingly so, because she is a talent. That is for dang sure, and we like to let that talent shine
Right.
wherever
That
she
talent's
goes.
going to be around a very long time.
Indeed, indeed. Just like these two other talented ladies will be around for a long time.
Now, what is happening here?
So you see, Dan DeMann is in the ring now, and
Now, Dan DeMann he's associated with Evie De La Rosa?
well, he was.
Or was?
He was. Evie De La Rosa was a part of the Mission, which I believe has now since dissolved. At the very least, they have lost a good number of the ranks.
Wow.
But when one door closes, another opens, and Bam Bam has walked through that door. This is something I was shocked. I mean, if you can see me in the back, my jaw might be on the floor, because these two went to war
Right.
numerous times.
Now,
over
this
the
is
Test of Strength
what they
Championship.
call, sorry to cut you off there, man.
No, you're good.
This is what they call in the business a double turn?
I mean, it was certainly, whatever you want to call it, it was certainly shocking.
Right.
Because, like I said, I thought the animosity was very high between
Wow.
Karen Bam Bam Renee and one Dan DeMann, and I thought that was a bridge that would never be rebuilt or mended, however you want to put it. And folks, as you can see clear as day right there, here we are.
They have a new member,
Yes, indeed.
the Mission.
It's a brand new mission, a brand new day at Test of
Right.
Strength for the women's champion, Evie De La Rosa. And again, we were talking about it earlier. From now until March, Test of Strength will be having training days at their dojo in East Hartford, Connecticut. We're having one November 5th, I believe, is that Sunday. And then also one in December, January, February.
The beginning of every month.
Yes,
The
exactly.
first Sunday of every month around what, 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Roughly, yeah.
Right.
So just keep your eyes on the Test of Strength socials. You're going to see a lot of new stuff, some new faces, some familiar faces, new rivalries renewed, a whole bunch of good stuff. You know, so if you're interested in checking out more Test of Strength, make sure you follow them on socials.
Exactly.
And get all the information on their training days. And if it's something you want to check out more of, they'll have all the information there.
They're on
so
Facebook,
that way you can
Test
get your
of
fix.
Strength. They're on YouTube. You can catch the full cards in their entireties.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
At the Squared Circle YouTube, we only just give you a little taste.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because we want you to go out and experience the full thing like it's intended to be, because there's nothing like the live atmosphere of professional wrestling. Am I wrong, Jay?
Nothing like it.
Absolutely.
Nothing like a show on the Indies.
Absolutely. And so, speaking of that, what's next on the docket for us?
What's
my man?
next on the docket is we're talking about one of those training days. We have a clip from one of the Test of Strength training days coming up. And here we have Nolan Pierce versus an individual called Young Boy. Test of Strength Young Boy.
Yes, yes. Don't let the name fool you, because
Right. I mean,
he may be a young boy, but he is getting better every time. He was under the tutelage of the Jumpman, the grapple god, Jordan Rowe. But as you can see, Jordan Rowe, there's been some questions whether he's just been in this for himself or not. You can see the fury there. He just got tossed out. And young boy, he has started to win over the crowd. He's been getting massive reactions. He's been putting in the work, and he has gotten better every time I've seen him. But speaking of getting better every time I've seen him, that would also, beautiful maneuver right there, by the way. The man he is facing is one Nolan Pierce. He is one half of the tag team Counter-Strike, along with Mark Alexander, formerly known as a team as Fire in the Sky, now known as Counter-Strike. I believe they actually just challenged for the Test of Strength tag team titles at Legacy is Timeless, if I recall correctly. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. But either way, they would like another shot at those titles, and beating a hungry up-and-comer that's just on fire, that is like the TOS Young Boy, is a good way to send a message to the tag team champions of Test of Strength, who happen to be a team we saw earlier in this episode, Miracle Generation.
Wow, they just get everywhere.
That's what I said, man. When I said they were everywhere, I wasn't exaggerating by much.
Right. You'll see that a lot with independent wrestling because nobody's really under any specific kind of contracts. So, for the most part, as long as you graduated from your wrestling school, usually that's the number one requirement.
Exactly.
When you've made it, you can pretty much go anywhere. Because it's not like WWE or AEW where you're under contract and you can't go anywhere else.
That is 100% correct, my man.
Right, a lot of these guys and girls will get as much exposure as they can from as many promotions or try to get bookings every weekend.
Absolutely.
Right. So if you start following independent wrestling and go to different companies, you'll be seeing a lot of the same people over and over again.
Exactly, and you will see the same people in different places, but you'll also see other people in different places as well.
It's true, yes.
And so it's always a nice little mix. And
right.
I'm one of those examples because I mentioned I'll be on IWTV next month up outside of Boston, Massachusetts, and you want to know where I was last weekend, Jay?
Where were you last weekend?
Cobleskill, New York.
Cobleskill, New York.
Yes, indeed. Little upstate New York action.
Wow.
So yeah, we make the travels, we make the time, and it's a great experience just about anywhere you go. So for various different reasons, every crowd is different, but as long as they bring the energy, it is all good. And speaking of bringing the energy, Nolan Pierce has the moniker Hyper Violent. And based on these past exchanges, I think you can kind of see where he gets that moniker from.
Right? He's hyper and violent.
Yes.
But what is the name? Why do they call him TOS Young Boy? There's a story behind that. Young Boy is.
It's kind of like in Japanese wrestling. Right. There's the term Young Boy that gets thrown around, which is the young lions or the trainees. It's kind of like a term of endearment. You know how they are. Oh, a nice little counter there. Speaking of counter strikes from the Young Boy. Lawbreaker too, but anyway, so Young Boy was basically, Young Boys learned from the veterans over in Japan, and so Young Boy was learning from the amazingly talented, if not a little arrogant, grapple god Jordan Rowe, and he was basically Jordan Rowe's Young Boy, more or less, and. That's what Jordan started calling him, and that's what his name is.
Yep, so, Young Boy was doing Jordan Rowe's bidding.
Yep, but as you can see, he is starting to evolve. He may not be a young boy much longer, and I think next time you see him, he might be TOS Young Man.
Right.
Because the upside to this guy is limitless, and you can see why here. Just some beautiful maneuvers from the Young Boy into the cover. 2, not quite though.
Now, this is the Test of Strength Wrestling School. Where can people go, actually get in their car? Where is it located?
87 Church Street, East Hartford, Connecticut is where they are at. And again, there's some amazing trainers there. If you are interested in becoming a professional wrestler, it's definitely a place to check out. And they put on tremendous events like the one you're watching right now. or the one you were watching a match from right now, I should say.
It's a small place.
It is.
Now, PAPW is small, I always thought. Now, nothing wrong with that, but I'd say this place is about half the size of that.
Yes, but just because it's small doesn't mean that the energy isn't big.
No.
And then
I give them credit for working in a little area like that and making it happen.
Yes.
And getting the crowd going.
And speaking of making it happen and getting the crowd going, there you see Jordan Rowe coming back out. Is he trying to help or hinder the young boy here? That has been the question of the past few months at Test of Strength.
Mm-hmm. What do we got here?
Looks like a duck under a kick into the roll-up. Not quite from the young boy. Kick. Let me tell you what, it's
just another one of those matches where you just don't know where it's going to end.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you've got two young, very hungry and skilled competitors going at it right now. It's like neither of these guys wants to give it up, but that's a beautiful knee, and I probably wouldn't get up from that. Let's see if young boy does. Unfortunately, he does not.
Evenly matched up.
Yes, it was a very even matchup, and here's the thing, folks. You're going to see, this is probably a match you're going to see definitely more than just this once, because the future is very bright for both these guys. Mm-hmm. It could be in a tag team match. It could be in another singles match like so. But these guys are going to be around for a while, and that's a good thing.
That's very important. I mean, it's important. Our work here is important. You know, the two guys you just saw, Nolan Pierce and Young Boy, you might see one of them eventually on AEW or in NXT.
Exactly. Or MLW, or Ring of Honor, or
right.
Or maybe New Japan of America, or maybe NWA, and that's a great thing,
maybe
folks.
TNA.
Maybe. And that's the great thing, folks, is that, there's so many options out there. To me, that's a good thing. Some people might say it's a bad thing. Oh, it's oversaturated, this and that. But right now, while it's in demand, like let's say you don't like something. Let's say you don't like what's going on in WWE, or you don't like what's going on in AEW. You don't like what's going on in either of them. You can pick MLW, you can pick NWA, you can pick Impact, you can pick New Japan, you can pick a heck of a lot of other things, including independent wrestling like we're showing right now. And
options are limitless.
Exactly, exactly. And that's the thing. There's a lot of places that, these young talents can aspire to go to, and, like for instance, Ichiban, Test of Strength original, just signed to MLW. Richard Holiday, PAPW original, was signed to MLW.
Is he still signed to MLW?
He is not, but
no.
he is very in demand since he has returned.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Either way, the future is Richard Holiday is definitely still.
I have his return match on the Square Circle YouTube.
Absolutely.
Right, you have to check that out. It was amazing.
It was a
Richard
tremendous
Holiday,
match.
Brad Hollister.
Two of the best in the scene right now going at it, and they proved that they're just not the best. Some of the best in the Northeast. They are some of the best in independent wrestling right now. Period. Stop.
Anywhere in the whole world.
Yes. Yes, and 100% agreed. And you could see stars of that caliber when they first start, and that's the beauty of it to me.
Right, exactly. I remember when Holiday first signed up with PAPW and was being trained by Paul Roma. I sat in a couple of his training sessions.
Yes, and that's the thing. You could literally be at ground zero and watch the stars of tomorrow come up from their very first matches. And watch them evolve. To me, that's one of the most rewarding experiences from my vantage point as a ring announcer, commentator, et cetera, et cetera.
Richard Holiday's a great guy. He's been a guest on this show before. I've provided video footage for him for a little while when we were doing this at ETV. But I wish him the best of luck. I not that he really needs it, because he's definitely getting there.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Last I knew, WWE wanted him.
Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I mean, he's a tremendous talent. And if you're a big company, why wouldn't you want a guy like that? With charisma, in-ring acumen, you want to talk about the total package? I mean, you're looking at one.
Absolutely. And that brings us to PAPW.
Speaking of PAPW.
Our local East Haven, 662 Co Avenue, Wrestling School, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, ran by a former guest of the show, Mario Mancini, as well as Paul Roma.
Mario Mancini, Paul Roma, Paul Perez, Big Steve Tracy, all those guys are, again, another great place to learn, a tremendous place to learn the craft. There's been a lot of tremendous talent that has come out of PAPW in recent years.
Right, and that is where you got your start as a ring announcer.
That is where I got my start, baby, right here. And I'm very grateful to those four, Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, and the entire crew at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling for giving me the opportunity of a lifetime. And I didn't think I would ever have taken it as far as it has gone, but here we are, and I've loved every second of it.
And this has been meteoric. This is over the last, probably what, 2019?
2019 is when I had my first booking outside of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, and it's been.
When did you start with PAPW? That same year or before that?
I think it was. I started on commentary with Big Daddy. I think it was around 2018. I want to say.
Okay.
It's all a blur
yeah,
at this point.
It is a blur. It's been.
Yeah, I do know for a fact that it was 2019 when I started to I don't want to say take over, but, become the main announcer at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, and that was also when I started to venture out into the world as well, into other places, territories, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
But,
they had two previous ring announcers, I remember, and you were the current, and along with Tom Sabin.
Yes, indeed, Talking Tommy. He is. You talk about up and coming talent. That kid's. I am very proud to see the strides that he has made. He's the voice of the Bridgeport Islanders now, my man.
That's amazing.
Yes, indeed it is. And that's he will actually be the announcer on the upcoming PAPW event on Saturday the 28th. I will be handling their one next month in November.
Okay.
So, but I will be in attendance in October because I love PAPW, man. I'm going to support the hometown.
So you will be there this Saturday. You just won't be ringing out.
Exactly. I'm just gonna be hanging out, schmoozing with the fans, talking to the men and women in the back. Just having a good time.
What can you tell us about PAPW coming up on this coming Saturday?
Well, let me see. I got the poster right here, and we have Thriller in Paradise, and you're gonna see the new Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling champion, Red Lion Chris Battle.
Right.
That was he's got a new battle academy.
I did see that.
That is wild, and also on the card, No Mercy Hunter Tarka, the former champion. He's on there as well. You're going to see Jermaine Marbury, the star from Rucker Park, New York, draining the threes.
And I love that basketball he's with.
Benny the basketball, man. Benny the basketball. He's awesome. Bloodsaw is going to be there. Alan Compass is going to be there. Troy Stevens, Skyler, the women's champion, Brad Baylor, a lot of tremendous talent on there. And again, we mentioned that they've built a lot of people. Richard Holiday, The Haven, Miracle Generation, and that's just to name a few that have come through Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. So again, there's a lot of great stuff coming there. And
we have clips from the previous PAPW on September 23rd, Fall Frenzy. If we can get to those, this would be clip number 4. This is Sean Silver, the surfer guy, and Fly Nye Noriega, who I'm tremendously impressed with him. I've seen him at Coliseum Pro Wrestling in West Haven and PAPW, and he's amazing.
Yes, and this is something that I want to double back to, Jay. I know you said you weren't. Oh, speaking of which, who's that good-looking ring announcer there over in the back behind Fly Nye? Just out of curiosity, I wonder who that is. I wonder.
I mean, he kind of looks like you, but
I think my twin brother was there that night. But anyway, I will say this about Fly Nye. You mentioned that that sometimes you don't like people that take a lot of time on the microphone and talk about themselves and this and that. This is what I'll say about Fly Nye. Whether you like what he's saying or whether you don't like what he's saying, he has the ability to captivate people when he has a microphone in his hand. And again, you're either going to be booing at the top of your lungs or you're going to be cheering for him at the top of your lungs. There is no middle ground. And he calls himself the flyest in the room, but I like to say he's the realest in the room. Because again, like him or hate him, he's going to tell it like it is in his mind. He's not going to hold back. He's not going to sugarcoat it. And again, that's either giving him a lot of detractors or a lot of fans, depending on where it is.
Well, I don't think he's going to have too many fans in PPW doing that to the up-and-comer Sean Silver.
And I don't think surfers are gonna fellow surfers are gonna appreciate what he's doing to that board right there either. I'm not sure what it cost, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
Right.
And
I don't know if I were him, I wouldn't take any bookings in Westerly or Block Island, because they're probably gonna start throwing things at him after what he did to that surfboard.
Yeah, Huntington Beach, California, persona non grata probably at this point.
Right. But Fly Night Noriega, I mean, he wrestled his own brother, Sunset Steve, in West Haven.
And you want to talk about brutality.
That was a brutal match.
Yes, and Coliseum Pro Wrestling, if you want to check that out, it was an absolutely tremendous match, but
the end is amazing.
It was
right.
You need to watch it, but at the same time, it's one of those things that will be amazing, but you might not want to watch it ever again.
Be advised, that was a very brutal. I have a clip of that on the YouTube channel for Squirt Circle.
It is not for the faint of heart.
No.
But either way, Surfer Boy Sean Silver, a beautiful tornado DDT into the pin, but it is not enough to put away Flying Eye. And this is a guy that that people have had their eye on lately. And the person I'm referencing is Surfer Boy Sean Silver. He has picked it up very quickly in the ring. He is another one of those guys that every time he comes out, he adds a new little submission hold or maneuver to his arsenal, and he just gets better and better every single time. There's no missteps here. And that just, in my opinion, goes back to the pedigree that you get at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling.
Right. You're learning from some of the best trainers in this part of the United States.
100%.
Right.
100%. And there you see a nice code breaker from the Surfer Boy. You can he almost looks a little bit like Chris Jericho. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
A little bit. I don't really notice the resemblance, but I'll have to look at him again.
I think the code breaker looks better than Chris Jericho these days. That's just me, though, folks. Please don't at me.
But is Sean Silver going to pull off a victory here?
I mean, that's a tough thing to do. I mean,
Flying Eye, yeah.
Flying Eye has been just on one of the best streaks I've seen in the independent scene lately. He's just at Coliseum on Friday the 13th. He beat not one but two competitors. Two. He's got two. And yes, and so, and there you see the innovativeness of Fly Nine Noriega. He knew he was in trouble. He found an out, hits him with a stomp, and that is just, and that's the thing. It might not look the prettiest when it comes to Fly Night, but it dang sure is gonna hurt. And something tells me that this is all she wrote.
That's it. That shows you how great Fly Eye is.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And if you want to see how violent he is, you go to the Coliseum Pro Wrestling YouTube or Square Circle CT, and you can see Sunset Steve Garcia versus Fly Nine Noriega. And like we just said, that's
it's something to behold.
Please be advised.
It is something to behold. But
right.
But hey, that said, I mean, that was a tremendous outing. You know, Sean Silver, showing that he can hang with some of the best that there are right now, and he might be able to hang 10 with the cream of the crop very soon if he continues to progress the way he has. I'm very excited to see what the future holds for Surfer Boy.
That being said, we have one final clip here for PAPW.
One.
So as to hype up their following event coming up this Saturday at 662 Co Avenue at the Paradise Alley Training Facility.
Thriller in Paradise.
Thriller in Paradise. Let's go to this. This is Now, I've showcased these teams before. Well, these people before.
Well, at least one of the teams. One of them is a noted tag team in Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling history. That would be the Pyramids of Power, the Prince of the Sands, Aladdin, and the Sultan of Stiff, Alading Ding.
Right.
And
seasoned veterans.
Yes.
At this point.
But you talk about seasoned veterans, you have the Troy Stevens in one corner, the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling United States champion of current, and the original legendary, oh, I'm sorry, I screwed up his moniker. I apologize, Bull. He is the legendary original beast and hardcore nightmare of New England, one Bull Dread.
Bull Dread.
And that's the thing, you know, Troy Stevens, Bull Dread, these guys are chiseled veterans in professional wrestling. Some of the most talented individuals that I'm very happy to call friends.
Absolutely. Now, Troy and Squared Circle and Bull Dread and Squared Circle go back, God, to the PWA days. And you're going back about 11 years now.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the longevity that these guys have been able to have in their careers. There's incredibly talented individuals, and showing that they can still hang today.
Absolutely.
mean, they are in there right now with Ala Ding Ding.
Right.
And you see on the outside the man with, I have to admit, I don't like the fact that he has his own counterfeit currency. Oops, did I say counterfeit? I meant whatever.
That's not their original manager, but that's the manager they have now.
Yes, that is one Zafar Al-Rahihi. He is the leader of Collusion, which is the stable that includes not only the Pyramids of Power, but also one No Gimmicks Gibbs.
Formerly Zachariah Gibbs.
Yes, he has seemingly given up the Amish lifestyle to live one dedicated to making as much money as possible and beating the crud out of people who disagree with how he wants to get that money.
Wow.
Yes, he has.
No Gimmicks Gibbs. Zachariah Gibbs is no stranger to the Squared Circle neither.
I was gonna say he might yell at me and make fun of me and stuff like that. So I might take the night off if you decide to have him back at this point. But either way, beautiful move there from one Troy Stevens. Not one Troy Stevens, the Troy Stevens.
The Troy Stevens.
The air guitar wizard.
Right.
And there you see, here's the thing. The Pyramids of Power are extremely talented individuals. I can't take that away from them at all. What I don't like is how they just ignore the rules, just have blatant disregard for all the rules. You know, they don't care. Like you see, look, the referee's got to do a better job of keeping Ding Ding out of the ring here, because he's not the legal man, and they're just taking advantage of the numbers game. And then once again, too, you got Al-Rahihi on the outside. Lord knows what he's planning over there with his Collusion bucks.
Right.
And there you see a little taste of their own medicine.
Now,
that's
would
what you get.
Al-Rahihi, excuse me, too many
Would
E's
he?
there. Would he buy off a referee?
I mean, I would hope the referees at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling are not easily corruptible, but
Right.
money talks and you know what walks.
Right.
So,
we just have to hope not.
yes, exactly. Exactly. There you see some good offense there from Aladdin. When he gets whipped right into the super kick of Troy Stevens into the cover, 2. And it is very important to note that even though the Pyramids of Power are the tag team champions, this was a non-title match.
Right.
So the titles are not changing hands.
Now, does this earn them a chance to get the tag team championship?
Well, here's the thing.
To have a tag team title opportunity?
Here's the thing. Whenever any members of Collusion are beaten, they take it as a sign of disrespect. And I personally think that this would earn Troy and Bull a tag team championship match, but I also think the Pyramids would be more than happy to give it to them, to run it back, to beat them this time, to prove that that was a fluke. And they deserve all the respect and all the adulation that comes with being the champions that they are.
Right, but it might not necessarily have been a fluke. We'd have to see in the future.
Exactly. And that's another reason why you all should stay tuned to Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling on Facebook, at @official_PAPW on Twitter and Instagram. That is your go-to source for all things Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling if you want to see more. And if you do, then you won't have to wait long, because this Saturday, right, Jay?
This Saturday, 662 Co Avenue.
Thriller in Paradise. But, so definitely.
When is the start time for that?
I believe bell time is 7 p.m.
Okay.
I believe bell time is 7 p.m. And if you want to double check just to make sure I'm not feeding you lies, I certainly hope I'm not. But again, if you want to check it out, definitely do check out these socials for PAPW that I just listed off. The match announcements, I believe, are posted there as well, so you can get a little more info, a little more detail on all the awesome stuff that if you do go check it out, that you will see that night. But the night prior, I just want to take a quick minute to
yes, do that.
To give a little plug. It is, let me just once again take this out so I am not delivering any false information here. I will be at Outcast Championship Wrestling. It is Halloween Bash. That takes place from Legends Sports Bar and Grill, 192 Pine Street, Bristol, Connecticut. That's going to be a really fun night. I mean, guys like Alan Compass, Jermaine Marbury, Sunset Steve. Did I say the Mighty Bosch?
Not sure.
Okay, if I did, I said it twice. It's so nice I say it twice. If I didn't, he's on there too. But a lot of great talent is on there. Cade Lothbrook is going to be on there. Jay Outcast. Those are some guys that you don't see around here a lot. So it might be a good chance to check those guys out, see what they're about. Very talented individuals. I will not be ring announcing. I'll be in the commentary booth, though. But either way, I'm really excited for this. The ring is a little smaller than what they're used to, but that's okay, because the action is still going to be big, because, when it comes to these bar shows, the action doesn't always stick to the ring anyway.
No, it just goes everywhere.
Exactly, and I think that's part of for me, that's the appeal, because you don't know what you're going to see. So if you're over 21, make sure you go and check it out. You can go and grab a drink if you want. You can see some amazingly fun professional wrestling action. They might brawl around the bar. They might try and take your drink from you. So you might have to, protect it. So that way. And one thing I learned from Jim Anderson.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Jim. We love you and we miss you. One thing I learned from him, Jay, you must never, ever spill the whiskey.
No.
You must never spill the whiskey.
That's alcohol abuse.
Yes. So make sure you protect your drinks if you see them coming at you. If you do go check out Outcast Championship Wrestling Halloween Bash from Legends in Bristol, Connecticut. That is this coming Friday. I'm on the call for it. I'm very excited. The following night, like I said, Talking Tommy's going to be the mic man for that one. Mm-hmm. I'll be hanging out, soaking in the action. Jay, you'll be there soaking in the action too, right?
I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to definitely...
Absolutely.
I'll definitely be at PAPW Saturday night.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we got a fun-filled weekend. We got a lot of great stuff coming up.
I did want to mention one thing. It's some sad news I got recently. When I first started here at NHTV back in 1995 on a show called In the Ring, I replaced a man named Matt Patola. And unfortunately, I learned about 2 or 3 weeks ago he passed away. And I just wanted to send a shout out to his family, expressing my condolences. Matt it was pretty cool. Last I saw him, I was in North Branford, believe it or not, running down the street. And he saw me and he waved me on. We talked for a few minutes, and he was a great guy. And just wanted to, express my condolences to his family. Yeah. Definitely.
Our condolences from here in the squared circle out to the family, and
right.
Yeah. But that's the thing, we carry on the legacy of,
yes,
talking about these great promotions, talking about these tremendously talented individuals, and hopefully you like what you see on the show and you want to come enjoy the fun with us.
Hope to see you. Hope to see you with all these things. And like I said, we have some coming up. We have Thriller in Paradise this Saturday. We have the next Test of Strength Training Day, November 5th And that is, what is the address again in East Hartford?
87 Church Street.
87 Church Street. Definitely. You have 2 options for the previous evening, November 4th, coming up. You've got Tetsu, Those Who Fight, and that'll be coming your way in Bristol.
Mm-hmm. In a 6-sided ring.
In a 6-sided ring. And I believe that's at the Sports Armory in Bristol.
Yes, and again, if you want more information, check out Tetsu Pro Wrestling on their socials. I believe they have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok as well.
Wow, yeah,
So,
that's a TikTok. I mean, maybe we should get a TikTok one of these days. You don't think
debatable.
so? We'll figure it out. And the other option is our old friends, Hammer Tunis and Company, the Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling, Go Big or Go Home, South End Community Center. That's in Springfield. That is the same evening as Tetsu.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like we were saying before, there's plenty of options. Whatever floats your boat, make sure you check it out. Support independent wrestling. Support the scene. Support these tremendously talented individuals. And, if you're watching this, we definitely hope to see you come out to some of these.
Definitely. And I believe we're going to wrap things up right now. And Matt, welcome. We had a great first show here.
Thank you.
Show 1.5.
1.5. Maybe one day the 2023 original episode 1 will surface as a lost episode. That remains to be seen. But in the meantime, Jay, thank you very much for having me on. I look forward to continuing with this and
absolutely,
and having some fun with you, reliving some great moments, and maybe even seeing some stuff for the first time.
Absolutely.
So. Either way, it's been a great experience, folks, and like I said, support independent wrestling.
This is
going to see you out there.
This is going to be the best incarnation of the Squared Circle yet. I'm definitely looking forward to having you on a week-to-week basis here. Definitely. I'm Hollywood J. Williams. Good night. Good luck. We'll see you next week. We're going to talk about that United by One card coming up November 11th, and that's in Hamden at Devonshire Hall. So stay tuned.